our residents to know what's going on in the city. I do want to say this meeting this evening is being recorded. It is not live streamed. So once it all gets put together, there will be a link on the city website that you can take this and share with others who may have missed it this evening. Unfortunately, we're missing two of our council members. Councilman Jackson is traveling tonight. I think he's in Denver. And Councilman Roman had another commitment, so he will not be here. But we have with us Councilman Reed, David Reed. There you go. Councilwoman Tina Bennett Burton. And Councilman Roger Neal. And in addition to council, we have all sorts of staff here tonight. I'm not going to name them, but you'll get to know them and see them a little later on. So let me just tell you how we're going to flow this evening. So I'm going to make some remarks here in just a moment, and then we're going to show a State of the City video, which highlights 2024. Then after that, have a few more comments, then a question and answer interactive part of the meeting. And then after that, we have stations set up in the lobby, so everybody will be free to go out into the lobby and ask questions to specific department heads or whatnot regarding specifics that aren't covered here in the room. But really tonight, before we get started, I'm going to do some pre-remarks to the opening of this meeting. And I want to take a few minutes to start the evening and talk about teamwork and the current dynamic on the city council. A number of residents have sent me, as well as some of our council members, notes regarding the apparent discord on the council. So I want to take just a few moments to talk about that. You know, as we know, we have 6 council members, and sometimes, well, almost all the time, all 6 have very differing viewpoints on how things should get done. Our discussions, they're not always easy, and the votes don't always go the way any one of us want. And we have to be acceptant of that. It's easy to get upset at meetings, especially when you feel some items have been predetermined by others. As the mayor, my job is to be an ambassador for our city, help guide discussions in a way that will move our city forward, and help each one of our council members achieve their goals and priorities for their district and for the city. To do that, we have to have communication, and that's something that we are lacking. We have all let our frustration show at times, and that doesn't help our city, and I'm just as guilty of that, and I apologize for it. Many residents have questioned me why council has voted a certain way on particular issues and why there is such division. I've given my opinion. I don't vote, but I've given my opinion, which I probably should have kept to myself. And I guess moving forward, I probably will be more selective in how I handle that. But I would encourage you to talk to your council representatives, not just for your district, but all council representatives if you have questions about particular votes. I know, and I truly believe that all of us want our city to grow. We want our city to continue to redevelop. We want this city to provide great services to our residents. Farmers Branch has so much potential, but in order to do this and these things, we have to put our egos aside and have reasonable discussion about how we get to our goals. Each of us was elected to be a representative for our residents, not ourselves. We need to be supportive of each other, not looking to get others fired or voted off council. We need to listen and have discussion and not walk away from the table. And I helped each one of our current council members get elected at one time or another. And I'm glad I did that because they're all good people. We're going to have differences and difference of opinions along the way, and that's okay. As a mayor, all I can do is offer my thought and guidance based on my knowledge of issues and the goals of our strategic plan. The business of the city is too important for petty differences and sore feelings to determine policy for the city. So for this new year, 2025, I have one wish, and that's for us all to get along, work to get along. I repeat, I'm here to help you. None of us can do what we want to do on our own. So I'm asking you to accept me as your partner. Harboring bitterness and resentment doesn't help our city. It's not a good look. I'm asking for your grace. Let's have conversations. And I want to thank each of you for serving, and I look forward to being able to help you as we work through the days to come. So, thank you. So, again, good evening, everybody. Let me thank you for joining us for the 2025 State of the City. Farmers Branch is a city that offers the best of both worlds, the convenience of an urban location with the comfort of a close-knit community. Our residents and visitors enjoy 31 parks, including the nationally recognized Hoya Park, which right up the way, dine at developments like the Boardwalk at Mercer Crossing and Mustang Station, and gather at the state-of-the-art facilities like our new Star Center. From our historical park, which preserves our heritage, to the innovation zone at the Mansky Library, which embraces our future, we are a community that values our roots and our growth. And so now we're going to take a viewing of a short video that was put together.
Throughout 2024, the Farmers Branch City Council and City Management remain steadfast in their mission to develop a strong, diverse economy while fostering connected neighborhoods and delivering exceptional customer service to our residents. We've achieved remarkable progress toward building a sustainable and financially secure future for our community. We've proudly delivered the lowest tax rate our residents have seen in 41 years. This achievement, coupled with earning prestigious AAA bond ratings from both Fitch Ratings and S&P Global, places Farmers Branch among an elite group of just 7 Texas cities with this distinction. Our commitment to developing a strong and diverse economy was exemplified through several exciting additions to the city's landscape. The impressive Star Center Multi-Sport Athletic Complex opened its doors, featuring an 81,000 square foot facility with multiple courts for basketball, volleyball, pickleball, and throwball. We hosted the UPA World Pickleball Championships for the 2nd consecutive year, which generated significant economic activity for local businesses. The culinary scene in Farmers Branch flourished with the opening of the Boardwalk at Mercer Crossing, featuring distinctive dining options like Black Agave and Barrel and Bones, alongside the eagerly anticipated Bugatti Ristorante. The East Side welcomed Australian flavors with the Aussie grind provisions, while Mustang Station became home to Radici. We prioritized affordable housing through 3 key initiatives. Our minor home repair program provided up to $5,000 in income-based assistance for essential repairs. In partnership with Builders of Hope, we approved 5 new affordable homes in the Valwood area with capped prices for working families. Through the Dallas County Replacement Home Program, 10 low-income residents will receive new 1,300 square foot mortgage-free homes with 15-year liens, enhancing neighborhood stability. Central to our mission of connecting neighborhoods, January 2024 saw the groundbreaking opening of Hoya Park, America's first glow-in-the-dark park, making national headlines as it joined our network of 31 parks. This innovative space, alongside natural treasures like the peaceful John Burke Nature Preserve, also serves as a vibrant gathering point that brings neighboring communities together. We made significant enhancements throughout the year to create more opportunities for residents to meet, interact, and build lasting relationships. The Branch Connection began its renovation to better serve our active adults, while the Recreation Center and Aquatic Center continued providing valuable fitness and leisure opportunities. The Innovation Zone at Mansky Library was enhanced with cutting-edge technology, including 3D printers and Cricut machines. To preserve our city's heritage for current and future residents, Venue 1842 at the Farmers Branch Historical Park now offers an elegant setting for events that bridges our past with present-day amenities. The historical park itself continued its mission of bringing 175 years of Farmers Branch history to life through engaging events and educational programs that connect our residents with their city's rich history. The year was marked by memorable community gatherings that brought our city together. Our beloved Bloomin' Bluegrass Festival drew music lovers for a weekend of outstanding performances, while our spectacular Independence Day celebration lit up the summer sky. The annual Fire Safety Fair combined education with family fun, and we introduced our first multicultural event, Gateway to the Globe, celebrating the diverse cultures that enrich our city through performances, cuisine, and educational activities that fostered connection among neighbors. In line with our focus on sustainability, infrastructure improvements remained a key priority throughout 2024. One of our most impactful projects was the Rawhide Greenbelt Trail expansion, which we widened from 8 to 12 feet. This year brought several other significant infrastructure enhancements that strengthen our city's foundation. The Denton Drive reconfiguration successfully added 20 new street parking spaces and introduced a new 10-foot trail. The comprehensive Cooks Creek Channel Improvement Project addressed critical drainage needs by widening 2,500 linear feet of concrete channel from Spring Valley to B Street, incorporating essential wastewater line upgrades that will serve our community for years to come. Our commitment to maintaining and updating vital infrastructure continued with the replacement of approximately 6,600 linear feet of aging cast iron pipe along Pyramid Drive, Artside Place, Janwood Lane, and Tom Field Road. These improvements not only enhance service reliability for our residents, but also reduce water waste. Our dedication to infrastructure excellence extended to our fleet with major upgrades to public works trucks and solid waste equipment, including new green grabbers. Delivering the highest level of customer service remains at the heart of everything we do in Farmers Branch, as demonstrated when we confirmed that no city-owned services contain lead or galvanized materials, meeting the federal lead copper rule revision. This regulatory update strengthens protections against lead contamination and ensures safer drinking water for all our residents, demonstrating our unwavering commitment to public health and environmental responsibility. We've enhanced our community engagement platforms to ensure residents stay informed and connected with their city government. Our interactive project dashboard provides real-time updates on city improvements, while Farmers Branch e-News delivers information directly to residents' inboxes. Our branch alert system provides emergency notifications, and the FBTX Connect app enables residents to report non-emergency issues. Our high-performance culture was evident in our enhanced customer service initiatives, including the implementation of our customer success area in May 2024, a centralized hub designed to be a one-stop shop for resident assistance in the lobby of City Hall. Our customer success team handled over 33,000 resident calls and invested more than 1,400 hours in personalized support and problem solving. Our public safety teams responded to approximately 28,000 calls for service in 2024, reflecting our dedication to meeting our community's needs. Building on this service excellence, our public safety departments implemented notable enhancements in 2024. Our police department introduced a new 4-officer motorcycle unit and welcomed a specially trained canine officer, while the fire department celebrated 11 successful sprinkler saves. These achievements were supported by major fleet upgrades, including new squad vehicles, motorcycles, and a state-of-the-art ambulance for Fire Station 2. As we reflect on 2024, each achievement represents more than just progress. It's a step toward enhancing the quality of life for everyone who lives, works, or visits Farmers Branch. Together, we've created positive change throughout our community, and we look forward to building an even brighter future in 2025. With ongoing collaboration between residents, businesses, City Council, and City Management, we'll continue to make Farmers Branch a model for innovative, sustainable, and inclusive community development.
So the video we just watched captures our spirit perfectly. In 2024, we proved once again what makes Farmers Branch unique. While achieving the lowest tax rate in 41 years and earning 2 AAA bond ratings speaks to our careful stewardship, we continue to strive to build stronger foundations for our residents. When we host events like Gateway to the Globe or the Lumen Bluegrass Festival, it's about bringing our wonderfully diverse community together. And when we invest in parks, modernize our public safety, or improve our infrastructure, it's all focused on one goal, which is making Farmers Branch an even better place to live, work, and raise a family. So tonight, we want to hear from you. Your voice is important, and we are eager to hear your thoughts, learn your thoughts on the future of our community. We're about to open the floor for questions, and if you'd like to ask a question, please make your way up to the microphone right here in the center when it's your turn. We want to hear from as many residents here as possible, so we ask that you keep your questions brief and focused. If your question is regarding an operational issue of the city, I will be glad to have someone from staff come up and address it. If your question is about city policy, then the City Council, because we are a policy board, will address those since that is our main function. After our question and answer, I invite you to head out to the lobby. City staff will be available to answer questions, and you can learn more about infrastructure projects going on in the city, new businesses coming to town, talk with our code enforcement and public safety staff, and visit with the city secretary's office to learn more about how you can serve our city on one of our boards or commissions. Also, please welcome representatives that are with us this evening from MetroCrest Services, Tracy Eubanks, the Carrollton Farmers Branch Independent School District that are here. Donna, stand up. Okay, there you go. And DART. I know somebody was here from DART. Okay. There you go. Shout out to DART. And they're all here eager to share their plans and programs for 2025 with us. While you're exploring what's ahead, be sure to help yourself some of the refreshments out front. Reflecting on 2024, it's evident that something special is happening in Farmers Branch. And I think we're just getting started. Our future is bright, and the possibilities ahead are limitless. And I mentioned there's a lot of potential here. So your voices tonight will help us shape our community's future. So with that, again, thank you for being here. And I know there's probably some questions. So if you would, make your way up and fire away. Come on, somebody's got to start off.
Are you all really that shy?
No, we got one coming.
Do we get to say where we live, or can we bypass that? Do we have to say what the street we live
No.
on? Okay, thank you. I am concerned about, and it's a city manager issue. It's a city manager issue. I am concerned about the spending. So do you want to bring him up, or do you?
Why don't you ask a question first so
Well,
we
the
determine if
first question-
policy or
The
operations?
first question I have is, why did we spend $36,000 to have nameplates up here when we could have had a $10 name put up there? To me, that is a want and not a need, and I am really upset about that. I understand that our city manager has the ability to write checks of $50,000 without approval from anyone on the board or bringing it up. And to me, that is an issue. I think that needs to be addressed. I also understand that we purchased, I think, 10 trailers for the Parks and Recreation group. Not that they didn't need them, I'm sure, but we didn't get any bids for that. And I feel like we are spending money that we could do better about. If we treated the spending in our city as if it is money out of our own pocket, that would be lovely. Why did we not get bids for that? We had one vendor, and as far as I know, they were from Paris, Texas, and we have big techs around here and other trailers, and $12,000 something a trailer is a lot of money. Why did we not get a bid for that? At least 3, and have it a closed bid, so there's no shenanigans going on back and forth.
Okay. I'm going to take part of your question.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk about the nameplates up here because that is something that the council discussed. That did not come directly out of your tax dollars. Let me first state that. Where it did come from is we get a royalty on some of our video service, and those funds are restricted. That can only be used to improve audiovisual components here at City Hall. We had money in the fund. I believe the fund had $300,000. I think that was the figure that was mentioned. And so some of those dollars were used to try to upgrade City Hall. These nameplates change several times during the week depending on who's meeting in here, okay? But we did not take money out of the general fund to do that. Now, I can't speak to the number of bids or I will say trailer usage, and I don't know, do we have somebody from staff that can address that? Hold on.
Thanks, Adam. Good to see you. So the PEG fund is what we use to pay for these. There's always a cost-benefit analysis done by staff. We spent between $1,500 and $1,800 per year on the nameplates. The 35 was over, I don't have my numbers in front of me, trying to do it from memory. The cost return on investment was about 12 years, but again, it comes from restricted funds that can't be used for anything else except for to enhance the quality of meetings. So it's not It's not an amount that was spent without consideration. It's not an amount that was spent because they look nice. There was a cost benefit analysis done by Innovation and Technology.
What about the bid?
The bid, as far as that one, it was through, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but purchasing requires certain elements. I'd have to go and get the
I'm talking about the
documentation.
trailers.
Oh, trailers.
I
Okay.
understand
Trailers it
what
is.
the mayor gave me.
Hey, Catherine Lee, Deputy Director of Finance, Facility and Fleet. My fleet manager, so I'm asking him right now, there were bids. It was an open procurement, so we did receive several bids.
One was, our council members told that there was only one bid, and it was from Paris, Texas.
So I may be discussing another trailer procurement, but in that case, there was one bid. It was an open procurement, and that's what was submitted back.
So you just go with one bid and you don't go and contact vendors to say, hey, are you going to bid on this?
So part of
I
our-
imagine that we have business that we could do closer to our city than going all the way to Paris.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we put a bid opening, we do reach out to vendors and let them know there's an opportunity.
Was that done in this case? Because I was informed that it was not.
I believe it's done in every case. We put it out publicly, we bid it out publicly, it's announced publicly, it's put in the paper. It's a public opportunity.
It was put in the paper about the trailers.
Yes, that's a state requirement. That's a state requirement, yes.
Okay. My other concern is the teamwork that is not happening for the young people who are coming up and presenting to the city. The last city council meeting that we had, there were two young ladies that came up to talk about trying to get parking spaces for an event center, and they didn't have the basic information about how to go about this, and that is directly a reflection of the city manager. And my thought on this is, why are we having people come up to talk to the council about expenditures when they're not fully prepared? I think that was awful, that those young ladies had to come up here and address the city and not have the information that they needed to do the job. And I appreciate it if you guys would counsel them, get them education, or be mentors to them so that they can do a better job, because they were terrified to be up here. So are we going to try to do that?
Okay, so a couple things. One, the staff presents at the direction of council when we put these things on the agenda for council to consider. The council meeting's broken into two pieces. The first part is a study session to get direction from the council. Once we know what the direction the council is, or if they want to discuss it more, then it goes out for bid and specs. We are not the types of engineers that build that. We have professionals we hire to build the specs for us, and then it goes out to bid. As far as qualifications and everything else, the presenter has multiple degrees, lots of background in government.
Well,
And
if the people of the city would go back and look at the recording, they will see it, because I had several citizens come to me and say that was absolutely criminal, that those poor people had to come up here and address the city and not have the basic information, such as the permit request that was done. The young lady up here gave false information that said that the extension of a permit in that situation was $4,000, and if they got a brand new permit, it would be the same. And I was informed by our mayor that that was incorrect. A new permit would be $15,000. So not knowing the basic permit fee information, coming up here and providing the city with the details for them to make decisions about spending our money, we really need to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hello, Patrick Beal at Ranch Crossing. Two-parter. One would be I forget the name of the building, the 55 plus east of Medical City Center. I know the city spent over $2 million to put it back into compliance with sewer and that kind of thing. I'm wondering if there's something that now has been put in place so that we're not caught unaware of a building that is not happening in the way that it should be happening, so that we don't get caught, short-handed again on some particular thing, because that was a good building. The space was, perfect in the location and everything else, and just all of a sudden now we're one of, umpteen different lien holders that are going after the builder builder or builders that went bankrupt, whatever. We've explained what happened now and where we are now, but I don't see anything that explains how we're gonna keep this from happening again. And the second part is similar in the permitting process, is the house across the street from where I live is not, we call it affectionately or disaffectionately call it the Tyvek home. It's been being built for, I think, approximately 3 years. And so I don't know if the city has something that can be done or not, but it's permitting the building of the house. But I don't understand, it means it's an open-ended thing. They can take, 3 years, 30 years to build a house and just leave it looking like crap for us to look at every day because they won't do anything about actually finishing the house. So it's kind of like a ghost town kind of a concept. So I guess they're kind of, both of those questions kind of overlap into permitting and following up on permitting and time periods and what's allowed to happen when. Thank you.
Sure. So I'm going to address the first half of your, or first question, then I'll invite somebody from building inspection to come down here for the second part of that. But the senior housing project that's next to Dallas Medical Center. Obviously, we've had to look at the albatross of a incomplete parking garage sitting there for way too long a period of time, and the crane spinning around in the air. At least we know which way the wind's blowing. So Market Space Capital, which is a company out of Houston, they purchased that property from Prime Healthcare. Prime Healthcare owned that property, and Prime Healthcare owns Dallas Medical Center. So when people say the hospital sold it, no, the hospital didn't sell it. The parent company is Prime Healthcare. Dallas Medical Center has absolutely nothing to do with that property and that project. So the developer, again, Market Space Capital out of Houston, has declared bankruptcy on that particular project. They are still a company with hundreds of millions of dollars under development and other projects elsewhere. They are in a legal battle right now with Prime Healthcare. Prime Healthcare, just so there's as much disclosure as I can tell you, Prime Healthcare in their sales contract to Market Space Capital had a buyback agreement. Market Space Capital has about $18 million invested in the property as it sits right now. I don't think they want to lose their $18 million, but Prime Healthcare has a right to take that property back. They really don't want to, but that is for Prime Healthcare and their lawyers to figure out. So this issue has been tied up in court for quite some time. City manager and I have had ongoing discussions with Market Space Capital and with the attorneys for Prime Healthcare. Unfortunately, because of the condition the property was left in, the city was forced to step in and complete drainage repairs and a street as mandated by the TCEQ. Okay, so add one more layer to this. So the city council approved the city spending $2.139 million of our tax dollars to complete drainage and the road, which is Medical Parkway, so it can get reopened again. The closure of Medical Parkway, which was originally supposed to only be 6 months, has been over 5 years. And that has severely impacted the business model for Dallas Medical Center. So My concern as your mayor, one is let's get that project finished. But even more importantly, I want our $2.139 million back from somebody. And it's either going to be Market Space Capital or whoever ends up with this property. I have had 3 developers contact me and ask me what they can do about stepping in to complete the project. It is not for us to say at this point. We don't own the property. It's tied up in court. And so we'll just have to wait to see what happens and let the legal process run its course before we can determine, one, what our next step is. But rest assured, the city manager's on top of this, and he will direct the city attorney to lien the property. So depending on who ends up with it, will be responsible for paying us back our money. And regarding the Tyvek house,
Good evening. I'm Danielle Summers, Director of Community Services. So I'm not sure exactly what area you're speaking about, but on permits for whether it be new homes, remodels, or repairs, they have a certain time that they can complete these projects depending on what kind of project it is. And they have that time, then their permit expires. We work with people to extend their permits or get new permits to try to get them to finish their projects. So we work with them the best that they can. If progress is not continuing and the building is not making any progress for over 150 days, then they can register for a vacant building permit if no one is living there. And so then they move into that process. But we continually work with these people that their houses are not being completed to try to move them forward and help them however we can to get them completed.
Is the vacant building
speak a little
closer, is the vacant building, whatever you called it, permit, is that available if the house is uninhabitable?
It is if it's uninhabitable, as long as it's secured. It has to be secured safely. And then if the owner of the property wants to continue getting a vacant building permit, they can. We just ensure that it's safely secured so that no one can get into it, nobody can get hurt.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the home on Mount View. Mount View? No.
Pebble Beach?
Tyvek house. The Tyvek house.
Is it yes, we are aware of the Pebble Beach one, and we do have a permit in process on it. It's just taking some time to get them through to get all their correct documents together, and so we are actively working on that one.
I'm sorry about the Pebble Creek.
Yes.
But Pebble Beach, whatever it is. The Mount View one is, it's got to have been under construction for 3 years.
Yeah, I'm not aware of that one, but I can check on it.
That's all right. You guys got a lot going. You do a great job. The city is, I arrived in 1960 on these great shores. And so in case no one else says it, you got a lot of balls in the air, and we appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph Regal. First of all, thank you all for your service to our city. And I've been here for about 9 years. I'm proud to be a member of Farmers Branch. And I like it. During 2024, we closed the Citizens Collection Center. What plans, if any, do we have for reopening that up in a different location in 25?
So we did, council made decision to close Citizens Collection Center for several different reasons. But when that transpired, alongside or in conjunction with that, we also said we can't just close it and not have one. So the city is currently in permit process with the TCEQ to reopen the Citizens Collection Center at the Senlac Service Center. Okay. It will be a smaller footprint, and it will only be open on Saturdays only. So we are trying to bring that back, but we have to go through the permitting process again. You just can't move from one site to the other. And so that's where we are. So we should have, do we have a ETA for that? Okay, mid-year. But I will tell you that facility will not take brush. Green Grabber picks up every week, so we're not going to have brush at the new Citizens Collection Center. Anything?
Yeah, and this was actually an item that was discussed at the last city council meeting. We had a presentation from staff on that. So if you want more details, go to the website, pull up the last meeting, and you can see maps, charts, graphs, anything on this particular project. So it'll give you the details or some of the details that you're looking for.
And on the other question of have we done anything to make certain contracts are completed on timelines? We've added clawback provisions. Our attorneys read everything now. There were just certain things prior to that that had not been done. They are being done now.
Thank you for mentioning that. And yeah, going back to that previous question. So any work that's done by the city will require a performance bond for the contractor, which will help to ensure. So if the company does leave, whatnot, we've got that. So that language will be written into all city contracts. So just know that going forward. I forgot to mention that. Yes, sir.
Hey, my name is Dan Thomas, and I live on Glenside Drive, and I'm going back to the Citizens Collection Center. He beat me to it. But I've lived in Farmers Branch for over 40 years, and the first thing he took away was delivering us the paper trash bags. And then he used to pick up the bulk every week, and that went to monthly. Well, now you close the Citizens Collection Center, and I'm glad we're going to do something about that, because I thought, well, why couldn't you just go to 1 day instead of 3? And then you started charging us stormwater fees every month on our water bill. And now we're going to charge us for picking up trash. So I don't see the great services of Farmers Branch. And by the way, it didn't rain the whole month of October, so I think you owe us all $5.50.
Okay. If I could, let me just, I want to make one thing clear about the trash fee. Okay. Farmers Branch residents have never had to pay for trash collection. Okay. We own our own landfill, and the revenues from the landfill pay for the trash fee. Pay for your residential trash service. The revenues from the landfill pay for your residential trash service. The fee that has gone into place is for the closure of the landfill. So let me explain that. And I know a lot of you, I've tried to put this, or I have put it in my newsletter numerous times, but let me just say it again. Landfill has a finite life. It's estimated to be about 22 years at today's date. Okay. We do take refuse from other cities. We limit the amount that can come in to our landfill, but that refuse actually pays what our residential trash service costs. But the landfill, it's going to fill up and it will need to close. On the day that the landfill closes, in today's dollars, we need to have about $40 million sitting in an account to manage the landfill for the next 30 years after it closes. We are responsible, the city of Farmers Branch is responsible for managing and maintaining the landfill after it closes for 30 years. We have to have a dedicated account to fund all of that. And that cost estimate today is $40 million. So what is the council doing? What's the council been doing to prepare for this? When I first started on council in 2016, that lifespan was estimated about 28 years. And so every year we get revenues from trash collection fees from other cities. And we put some of that money into a reserve account, a dedicated account for landfill closure. Okay? The amount of money necessary every year that goes into that, if we were just doing what we were doing, we would be short. So when I started on council in 2016, I came up with the idea, let's charge everybody $1 a month, $1, just so we can have some extra revenue to put towards the closure of the landfill. Council said, no, we don't want to do that. That's somebody else's problem. Well, the problem is that this can has been kicked down the road for so many years, it's our problem. Now, you or I may not be alive in 20 years, but it's still a problem that we are creating and that our sons and daughters who end up living in our homes are going to inherit. So we need to hasten the collection of that closure fee. So the decision was made to implement a $5 a month fee, and that fee will be $5 a month for 4 years now, $2.50 for seniors. Then it's going to go to $10 for 4 years. Then it's going to go to $15. Then it's going to go to $20. And then it's going to go to $25. The reason this is important is when the landfill closes, we will be responsible for paying for residential trash service ourselves. We will no longer have money coming in from other cities to pay for our service and collection. So we're going to be probably sending our garbage to South Dallas. That may cost you between $30 and $40 a month. The city of Irving, just compare this. The city of Irving, they own their own landfill, and their residents pay $33, I believe it's $33 a month for trash service. So at some point in the future, and 20 years can go by pretty quick, we're going to be facing that very same situation. The prudent thing for us to do is to make sure that we have the necessary amount of money collected and set aside in that reserve account so it's not putting an undue burden on the city 20 years from now or at closure time.
Very well explained.
Council, did I leave anything out? There's got to be more questions.
Hello, Rob Wands. Terry, thanks for all you do. City Council, thank you guys. Doing a great job. Awesome video. Makes me proud to live here. Question relates to major capital expenditures for 2025. What are the plans? Any significant known expenditures? Any concerns about projects? I guess you can't foresee water breaks, things of that nature, but talk about the money that you guys are planning to spend next year. And then secondly, always focused on keeping taxes, as low as possible. What other measures are we going to take to keep taxes in check?
So our council, we're just getting ready to start working on that. In fact, in February, we're going to start our strategic planning, which will then move into our budget planning process. And we have to have budget done by end of September. So time moves pretty quick, and there's a lot of moving pieces. Every council member they've got their own priorities. But infrastructure is certainly something that we're going to continue to deal with. We're an aging city, and so a lot of our infrastructure is old. And while there's been ongoing maintenance, and you saw in the video a replacement of water and sewer lines, that's going to continue to be the case. Roads, oh my gosh, to put a new road down is about $1 million a mile. So if you haven't noticed already, you see crews out sealing roadways. They're actually injecting tar and sealant to help prevent roadways from cracking when water gets in there and freezes. So Public Works is trying to do as much proactive maintenance on roadways. Other than that, I think it's going to be interesting discussion to hear what council wants and the priorities of each district, how we move forward. I don't have all those answers.
I appreciate it.
Yo, anybody want to chime in on priorities for your area or for the city?
Well, one of the things we're doing February 6th, we're collectively getting together, going to drive through the city and come up with a list of items that we would like to address, whether it's something new, repairing something, changing something, what have you. So that's all part of the strategic planning that the mayor had referenced. I know in my district, District 3, on the west side, we have Mercer Park going in. Construction is going to be starting soon. I know that they have laid the irrigation lines throughout the park. That was completed recently, and they were actually testing it yesterday. I walk through there every day trying to stay fit. And so that means trees will be coming in shortly, and then the rest of the building of the park. So that's one of the big things that we have going on our side now for the next few months. We're still doing expansion down at the boardwalk. That's growth out there. Then we have the branch connection, which is still under construction. That'll be getting finished up soon. So that's a new item for folks to be looking forward to. I don't know if you have.
I do. So Dutch Village will be done sometime at the end of this year. That was the park up north in District 2, and I am District 2, that burnt down last year. So we've got that. We're trying to, with the Rawhide Park, making it safer to traverse through. We're looking at changing where Rawhide and Rawhide and Josie Lane, the crossing there, to hopefully have a light or just something to make it safer. So as residents walk it, they can walk the circumference of it and be safe with it. We've engaged a couple of outside developers to come in to try to collaborate with us on the four corners to see now that two sides of it are going to be up on the market, to see what we can do with that and what other options we may have.
I know for Councilman Roman, on the west side, Mercer Crossing, getting Mercer Park completed, that's a priority item for him. And for me, the branch connection can't get open soon enough. I feel really bad for our seniors because they had to live through COVID and deal with centers being closed. So people were cooped up in their homes. They didn't get to see their friends and all that. And now, with the branch connection being renovated, and it's taken longer than it should have, again, we've got people who are not seeing their friends. And people are social creatures. They just need to be able to have that engagement. So I'm hoping that we will be able to get that done early second quarter. So,
as a follow-up to that, I want to extend my personal thanks and kudos to the Branch Connection team there. They have done an incredible job of keeping events happening through flexibility of scheduling, flexibility in locations, partnering with the rec center, partnering with different buildings to provide those services to our seniors and the members of the Branch Connection. So I want to publicly thank those guys. I'm from the Northeast. Guys is a generic term to everyone. So I want to thank those folks.
All right, thank you. Mayor Dodd.
Need to correct you. It's called used guy.
I'm not New York.
Oh, okay.
I'm not New. I used to park the car in Harvard Yard. But
But he's got a guy. He's got a guy.
Okay, since I'm guilty of the landfill, I created that. The mayor of University Park and I went to Louisville, shook hands with their mayor, and told them what we were going to do, and they agreed to it. My name's Dodd, and I apologize, but they call me Dodd Dam in Louisville because of that landfill site. But we have an opportunity, and I'm not going to ask for a response now, but having talked with some of their council people and things like that, it's created a development around there. It's increased their tax base. And if we can work with them and maybe develop that landfill into a productive site, we can help maybe reduce our cost on that aspect of it. So I think that if we could get together with them and come up and developers or something, I think there's an opportunity there. And I'm not asking for a response now. This is just a suggestion because they are definitely interested in finding money in dealing with that landfill and development around it. So that's a suggestion.
Thank you, Mayor. I think those will be worthwhile discussions in the future. You know, that land unfortunately has to sit undisturbed for 30 years. So anybody recall any long-term Dallas folks remember Walnut Hill and 35? Yeah, when I was a kid, that was all. That was the dump over there on the west side of the freeway. And it sat for 30 plus years before anything was ever developed over there. Now it's full of warehouses and there's a Elm Fork Athletic Complex over there and whatnot. So it's just amazing to me when you know what Dallas was and you see what it is now. And we'll get there. That'll be something like that, I'm sure, at some point in the future. Anybody else?
Lolly, who is the next door neighbor to the 2520 Danny Lane house that I think was burnt up several years ago. And now there are people living there. The police have been out there several times. There's been drugs in and out. And Miss Lolly is, I think, 88, something like that. And the reason why she's not here is because she doesn't want to be driving at night. So she asked me to find out why the permit that was put in the system in 2021 and has not been closed out, why that has not occurred. And she also asked about it being compliant. And if there is a fire and stuff in there, shouldn't there be a new certificate of occupancy acquired? Because in her opinion, that home is uninhabitable and there are people living in it.
Okay.
That's part of it. Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to ask that you probably have that discussion with Danielle out in the foyer, okay? And she knows, so she'll be waiting for you out there.
All right. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you. All right, any other questions? Anything? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Villafranca. I live on Brook Hollow in District 4, and I just want to say thank you, Mayor, for doing such a great job explaining everything, the video, the council. I really appreciate all of your work. I don't know if people know that you don't actually get paid to get beat up. And you know, I always say, you know, 1/3 of the people will think that everything that you're doing is great. Another third will think that everything you're doing is rotten, and the other third won't have any idea what you're doing. And it's clearly visible here. I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate all of the work, and I'm really proud to be a Farmers Branch resident. It's the best city in North Texas. Thank you.
All right, well, it looks like everybody here is going to be somewhat shy. So I'm going to say at this point, thank you again for coming. You know, there's a lot of great stuff that's happening in our city, and we have opportunities for all of you to get involved with our city. We have boards, we have commissions. Those are comprised of residents. We have city council comprised of residents. And so please think about serving. We need varied opinions. We need more diverse opinions and expertise on the council. So if you have a background that lends itself to something, excuse me, please consider getting involved. We're not done, so we're done in here, but please feel free to go out in the lobby, talk with.
Speaking of that, as a segue, we are in the period now, if you're thinking of running for city council, we do have elections going for District 1 and District 4 coming up for this May. If you are interested in running or you know someone who is, right now is the time to take out nomination papers. It runs until
February 14th.
February 14th. Yes, happy Valentine. Get it. You know what a great gift to give the city is for you to run for city council in either District 1 or District 4. So something to consider.
Okay. Last thing I'm going to say, you know, we introduced motorcycles to the police department. Great tool. We're having an effect. We're trying to slow traffic down. I ran on that, and we are making an impact. But please be understanding, cops can't be everywhere all the time. They're doing the best they can. Speeding is an issue. Be alert. People are not stopping for stoplights. Please be alert, okay? We've had some bad accidents. We've had people get hit. It's happening everywhere. We just don't need it to happen here. So watch your speed and don't speed in Farmers Branch. Anyway, we'll be out in the lobby. We'll be out in the lobby, and we're also here to answer any questions you might have. Thank you again for coming.